Welcome back to Critical Moment, and this is the critical part which you have to listen carefully. Kun Philip, your critical moment. You've been here for how long?
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years in Thailand.
In Thailand.
Okay, and before that?
Before that, Canada.
Canada.
Australia and Europe.
And Europe. And Thailand, full.
Well, it's my first time working in Asia.
Yeah.
And I had a lot to learn, you would expect.
Yes. And how many more years left for this company? You didn't tell me last
I don't know.
time.
You never know how long the CEO is going to stay.
Oh, really? You don't have like the term of
No,
5 years?
my term was 5 years initially.
And we can extend you?
Well, it's up to the shareholders and the
To
board
the shareholders.
to decide. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So,
Critical?
come back to the subject of critical moment.
Well, I had to learn. I cannot tell it all, but to give you a few examples, my first negotiation with Chinese suppliers, you know, me, Western, very analytical. I had all my points on the paper.
That's
I was
right.
ready to go point by point and
Yes.
be a tough negotiator. But my head of manufacturing, Kun Vanchai, told me, let me do it. You know, I tried, and then for half an hour we told each other how friendly we were, how respectful we were, and blah blah blah.
And you were like,
then I was like, look, I have my points here.
Right.
And then Kun Vanchai said to the Chinese, look, we are really friends now. Could you make a proposal that we could not refuse?
That's
and
it?
the Chinese, okay, how about this? And that was it. And that was perfect.
And you were at all.
I was learning a lot.
You were learning a lot that the point that you were struggling to make, it can be made with just a friendly talk.
Yeah, I could see the relationship could help resolve an issue rather than just analytical approach.
Yes,
That was good
and
learning.
you need the helper as well, right, Kun Vanchai?
Well, you know, you need a Thai team. In this company, we are more than 3,000 people. We are only two Farangs, the CFO and me.
So your Thai must be great now.
Oh, I learned Thai for 1 year, but then I could not find the time maybe to continue. But it did help me to understand the culture a little bit better.
So the moment that you have learned from that critical moment, do you think it can be applicable to any other negotiations?
Well, I think the point is that even if you're the CEO in a company like this, you should not overdrive. You have to somehow let the team manage in many cases. You can give directions, you can give support, but at the end, you have a team of people here and they know better. They know better about Asian way to do things or the Thai way to do things. So I think it's maybe a piece of advice as a Westerner, you have to adapt also. You can't drive too much.
So as a CEO and you're resting on your people, what do you do for the rest of the time?
Well, again, people come to you for directions, they come to you for resources, they come to you with problems, and you have to help. Being a CEO is also being a coach.
Yes.
And obviously dealing with the board and the shareholders, but for most things, you have to rely on your people, your local people, and they know better. Another example was all these crises we had in Thailand for the past few years, and just to name a few, I mean the unrest or the floods.
Yes.
You know, I was impressed by how my Thai team could manage even without me. They knew what to do. They were very proactive, very compassionate, helping each other, and I was very impressed by how resilient the whole organization could be, even without having a master plan approved by the CEO.
So during the flood, your people were helping each other as well as helping outside people as well, I suppose?
Yes, they took impressive initiatives. They had a team of 50 people coming from Saraburi to Bangkok with trucks and boats to help families of our employees first and neighbors to move out of the house or find solutions. I was very impressed, and this didn't come from me; it came from the staff, from the team.
It was something that no one has experienced before, and particularly you with all this crisis.
Absolutely, but at the end, I felt very confident that the organization was very resilient, and people could take initiative without waiting for instructions or turning to the government to find solutions.
So you make it sound like your company is very autonomous. The people in your company, they have this empowerment to do what they think is appropriate. Do they have to go through the hierarchy in order to get an okay? Everything.
When it comes to resources, funding, money, they have to get approval.
Oh, yes.
And we want to make sure they don't take too much risk, so it has to be safe. So we wanted them to be safe when they go rescue people in the house.
Right.
So we had some conditions, and safety, control the money we use, But for most of it, it was their own initiative, yeah.
So it was a very initiative that requires so very little time from you to approve and for them to come up with something to help the society at large.
And they also asked me to go on the boat and see and support and give some good positive message to people. I mean,
So
I had my part to play.
You were
They
out
would tell me
there.
what to do.
Yeah. You will actually roll up your sleeve and go there and help.
A little bit.
And how often do you go to the factories? How often do you go to the forests and seek out that your policies are being fruitful?
Well, the factory, the minimum is once a month. I go there definitely a full day, sometimes staying overnight to have informal dinner with the people there. I have to visit customers.
Oh,
I mean, something
really?
I learned also in Asia is the customer spirit, the customer focus.
Unbelievable. The CEO of INSEE goes to visit the customer.
That's basics in my job. I don't go very, very often, but I have to go. I think I'm really impressed how in Thailand people take care of the customers.
Were they startled of you? Oh, Farang is here, or were they like, oh my God?
Sometimes they don't speak good English. I have
Yes.
to have some translation support, but most of the time they are very happy and they show me the entire family, the parents, the kids, the shop.
That is lovely.
Because it's family relationship.
Yes. So you've
long
learned
term.
it from Kun Vichai with the Chinese
Yeah,
negotiation.
from Kun Shantana and her team, the salespeople, they take me to the customers, and it's a very good experience for me to go. And I've been in many places in Thailand, remote, not just Bangkok.
Yes,
And it's really
yes.
fun. It's really interesting.
So from the Western world that is highly developed, you come to Thailand and actually see the rural, the urban, every nooks and crannies of Thailand, I suppose, for the past 4 years.
Well, if you want to understand a bit more, you cannot just stay in your bubble of a nice hotel and resorts and just don't mix up with people in Bangkok and other villages or other places. And you have to travel.
Yeah. And 4 years that you have been here, you have experienced the yes and the no, the ups and the downs throughout, right? But all in all, you like it.
All in all, yes. I mean,
What do you like the most about all in all?
Well, I like the buzz. It's never boring. I mean, every day something is happening that you don't necessarily expect.
Yes.
And it's never as bad as it could look from outside, from the rest of the world.
Yes.
And it's never perfect because nothing is. Huh?
As I came outside to visit you, I saw your employees, your staff. They are very bright, vibrant.
Well, that's the way we like them to be. And the most difficult part in business now is to find the right people. Not just people with diplomas, experience, but with the vibrant aspect, the passion.
Yeah, how many people do you have working for you now?
Total SCCC is 3,200.
3,200, and they are situated throughout Thailand.
Many are in Saraburi, in the big industrial complex.
Yes.
Many are in this office, and the rest is spread all over the country, yes.
Okay, and when you go to Indonesia, are you going to export some Thai people over there?
We have only exported a few, 2 or 3, to start the business, finance, production, sales, but we want to recruit locals.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Why? Because the Thai do not want to go?
Well, it is sometimes difficult to move Thai people out of Thailand. They have the family, the school. Sometimes they don't know enough about the other countries. They are a bit reluctant.
Yeah.
And they have many options to work in Thailand also. But I think this is increasingly possible. We try to train people to be more open. So they have seminars, training outside of Thailand. They visit, they know, they get more comfortable traveling and spending time outside.
So all in all, you think that the Thai people will be more flexible to move around?
I think they have a great opportunity, with this Asian economic community.
Yes.
Thai people are well educated. Many of them speak English. In our company, the top 4 or 5 layers speak in English, work in English, make email presentations in English, and I think this is good for their career and good for the company.
So a good chunk of your staff, I suppose, are very well communicated in English.
Yes, and we insist on training. If they want to be promoted to a senior management position, they have to reach a certain level of English ability.
Oh, you're talking about continuous learning, not just the technology aspect of it, but other soft skill as well.
Well, in the end, you can buy the technology and the equipment. It's much more difficult to buy people's skills and people's attitude. And we have extensive training programs. We send people for 2 weeks in Switzerland for leadership management seminars, like MBA school, MBA programs. So it's a big investment we do on people.
Yes, yes, and you do this consistently every year.
Yeah, every year, absolutely.
And every year, as you know, right now we have a big pool of resources coming, the bachelor graduate students. Are you open to recruit this youngly new fresh blood into
More
your
than open, we are very willing.
Yeah.
We need good mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, environmental engineers. We have many positions to provide.
But this would be basically the different pool of people from what you have. These are what we call the Y generation. I still try to understand them.
Well, X, Y, Z, it's all about the attitude. And we have young people here with 30 years old, and they have responsibilities already in the organization.
I see.
The motto of our company is strength, performance, passion. So we want strong people with education, experience, performance. They have to deliver. They're not just here as tourists. And passion. And passion is the most difficult to explain.
It comes from the heart,
yes.
Isn't it?
Engagement, extra mile, customer attitude, and giving time, being dedicated, being prepared to make sacrifice from time to time.
And how passionate are you to run this company and make it grow even more?
Well, I think it's a very exciting company. I love the brand, this INSEE brand.
Yes.
I like the green heart development we are pushing for, and we have a huge opportunity now to grow in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and this is a huge challenge.
It is,
we have to find people to go there and to learn how to do business there. So we have many opportunities for career and growth for people here.
Including the new pool of the people who are looking for hopes to work with the company of their choice.
Yes, there are many choices now in Thailand. It's a very competitive labor market. So to get back to this new generation, they really have to figure out what kind of company they want to work for.
Yes, and I noticed that they do not have a very long history of work. If they don't like a company, they will just leave.
They switch, they just zap.
That's right.
But this kind of people, they are not necessarily the one we are interested in. We want people to commit, not for life, but to make a good chunk of their career. So they really have learned something here, not just another tick on their CV.
That's right. So they have to have the strengths and they have to have the passion.
Yeah, and we test them. We put them in the field. They have to go and see the customers. They have to run a project. It cannot be easy just being behind a computer doing numbers.
That's
right. We want more.
Yes, yes. And the passion is within you. You have to look at it, you have to grab it and make it possible. Stay tuned.